Hello everyone, today is Monday, May 10th, and I'll be going over my recap for today. So today I made a total of $358, trading a total of 7 stocks. 164 of them were from my Thinkorswim account, and $194 win was from my Trade Zero account. So let's get started on my recap. So starting from the top here is my biggest winner on my Thinkorswim, which was LEDS. So LEDS had some follow through from last week's action, and there was a nice opportunity here once it broke high of day and had a nice little inverted cup and handle here. I didn't take this because at the time locates was very expensive, so it wasn't worth the locate fees at that moment. But I went ahead and looked for a few long positions here because it was kind of bouncing off this support level and the hourly chart. So you can see that if you pull up the hourly chart, you can see how it is now retested, the hourly chart, as well as it was consolidated down here. So the expectation is it'll have at least a correction towards VWAP or this support area. So this was the correction there. So I went ahead and looked for a few long scalps here when I saw like this double bottom and holding a higher low forming. So I went ahead and took a first long position there, took some off, scalp, and then took another long position here, took it off, and then you can see that was a fail follow through. Went ahead and retest, kind of triple bottom here and held a higher low. So I went ahead and looked for another opportunity here. You can see that it'll cup and handle for me. So I went ahead and took that long and then just took it off when it was reaching VWAP. And you can see it rejected VWAP there pretty harshly. Inverted cup and handle, broke down of the hourly, which had a nice little trail back down lower. So that was a $249 win on LEDS. Next trade was BTU. So this had a nice little flag breakout. The only thing was this was high institutional ownership, and I was looking for a 15-minute of breakout here. So I had a nice little breakout. I took it along there, sold a little bit too early. You can see it actually broke high of days afterwards. Would have been a nice little move, and probably need to learn to trail a little bit better because it hasn't broken the 15-minute trend, and it had a nice little trend after that breakout. So good entry, but bad trailing by me. But that was a $22 win there. Next trade is CUE. CUE was also a little scalp off this lows here. You can see kind of a head and shoulder or a cup and handle pattern. I bought that and then sold just into the pushes, and was a quick little scalp. Nothing much there, but could have been a nice little win. And I felt I had a kind of a bad feel here in the middle of the push here, so I felt like it was a little bit extended. So I just took it off there for a small win, $18. Next trade was ATOS. So ATOS also was holding the hourly chart and then reclaimed VWAP here, which was the blue line. Thought it had a nice little push. Went long here, 2,000 shares, sold 500 on that push, and then I had my stop just right below the prior low there and stopped me out there. Pretty much a break-even trade, a small $1 win on that. Next trade was EXTN. So a lot of stocks today that had a pretty high institutional ownership, so it was a little more difficult to trade, or if you're trading them, they tend to trend the 1 minute and 5 minute pretty well. But here I took a little small loss. Thought it was kind of extended on the 5-minute chart, and it is extended, but because it's a high institutional ownership, usually these don't really obey the same laws that I trade. So I went ahead and took it off there when it didn't immediately flush from the little wick of $20 loss. Next trade is PTIX. The PTIX, I was up nicely this morning, probably roughly $200 on this, and I give it away in the later part of the morning here. But the first trade I had was a nice little flag break right here. So I bought that flag break, sold into these pushes, and then I bought the next flag break and sold into these pushes once VWAP was trying a couple times there. So that was a nice little win from this area. And then I give it away in the later part of the morning when I try to fight this a little bit here off this kind of cup and handle, waiting for the 4-hour break. It was quite extended on the hourly, so that was the only troublesome there. So I went ahead and kind of fought scale in, scale out. You can see a lot of wicks here, so a lot of false kind of breakout, a lot of false breakdown. So it was a little bit choppy here. This is the kind of moments where I want to avoid trading, because this can chop you up and be really bad for you. So I went ahead and took I took a few losses here, and then I took a win on the end there before this crash happened, and then it's just continued to fade it all the way back down to the hourly chart on PTIX. And then my last trade is OBLN. So I had a long trade here when it was kind of holding the hourly chart, or I was watching for this dip, and then maybe it'll retest VWAP higher, but it ended up not, and I took a $54 loss there. I ended up taking a few shorts here on my trade zero account, which you can see I'm up. So the short that I took, I think I took one short up in here somewhere. So I took a short here, then had to stop that for that wick, which was for a loss. And then I had another short, which was this short. On this last little push, I took a short, and then it faded after hours, and I covered there around 270 or so after hours off this hourly 9 EMA break. Didn't go much further there on the downside, but it's a quick little win there. So all in all, very slow morning, slow Monday. Hopefully get more volume and pick up for tomorrow and the coming weeks, but up 358 for today, not bad. So yeah, so again, if you enjoy this content, be sure to hit the subscribe and like button, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, see ya.